question for all, which is what is your view on home cultivation? But the real thrust of my question is for Professor Boyd. The committee has heard a lot about the potential health consequences of cannabis use on the developing brain and all of that. But there's a social cost, of course, in criminalization. And I wonder if you could elaborate a little bit more on the extent to which you see 45 might help to minimize the social consequences of criminalization.
Professor Boyd, and then we'll go to anybody else who wants to get in on home cultivation.
Well, I think what we've seen in Colorado and Washington, Colorado perhaps more specifically, is a rapid reduction in the number of charges coming forward as a consequence of legalization. It's a more commercial legalization than what we're imagining in Canada. And much will depend upon whether there is an appetite to prosecute possession of illicit cannabis, for example. I would be surprised to see a lot of these cases going forward subsequent to legalization. I think that this is really a part of the act that's designed to appease those who are really very worried about the consequences of legalization, as opposed to something really practical and giving direction. You know, we want you to clamp down on possession of illicit cannabis. I really don't think that is it at all. And so I do see a tremendous benefit in moving forward with this, as you know. The comments made particularly by the first three speakers spoke about many limitations in the bill. I recognize that, but I want this bill to go forward. I think it's a huge change. It enables human freedom in a very fundamental way, and I do believe that the consequence will be significant reductions in criminalization of use, distribution, and production, and that's a positive. And we've learned a lot out of the last 5 to 10 years about both benefits and harms of cannabis. And it's legalization, it's opening up the debate that has given us that capacity.
Okay, Mr. Conroy.
Didn't the Senate committee of Senator Nolan, the late Senator Nolan, concluded that putting people through the criminal justice system was far more damaging to them than letting them have consume some cannabis? So I'm waiting for the day when one of these experts will do a study on the impact on the developing brain of taking somebody, arresting them, and putting them through the criminal justice system. I can assure you that the consequences are far worse than having a few puffs on a marijuana cigarette.